Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. Let's have a look at Hourai, the second Water Colossal quest. And yes, this quest was probably the most difficult for me ever in the history of Monster Strike. Really tough. And I had even a much stronger team in the English version, but I just kept playing it and I kept losing it. So finally got the clear today. I am super happy and I am never playing it again. But anyway, gimmicks here are damage walls and mines and blocks. And then there are lots of anti-bounce guys, so we want to bring all Pierce characters. And null damage wall is pretty much a must. I've seen some videos where people do not have null damage wall, but really, you want to have it. And then having flight or minesweeper is a nice bonus, but not required. Also, null block, a nice bonus, but not required. And then, yeah, on the first stage, we saw those 3 shots. And then if we make those 3 shots, then that will get us in fairly good position for this next stage. The number 4 character will go into the bottom left. The number 1 character will go up and down, and then get rid of that Leviathan. And then the number 2 character will get rid of the Leviathan on the right, and then the number 3 character will get rid of the 2 Aqua Dragons up there. And then the number 4 character will go along the bottom and get rid of these guys like that. And then we'll move on to the next stage. That's the ideal situation. We wasn't able to get that here. But yeah, every stage we see, almost every stage we see the anti-bounce guys and then the Aqua Dragons kind of in a column. And so we want to pierce through them. And then we hit the sling style change panel and then turn into a bounce and then take down the Aqua Dragon. And it's good to get rid of the anti-bounce guys because they have one-hit KOs. The Aqua Dragons are not as dangerous, but they do have a revival, so that can just make the mission longer for us. Alright, for this third stage, we want to get rid of the Urashima Taro in the middle there as quickly as possible. And I've seen some people play this where they just go straight for Urashima Taro and then forget about everyone else. But still you want to keep an eye on the anti-bounce guys with their one-hit KO. And then to talk about the team that I'm using, first I'm using Shahrazad, the Ascension version. She is a Pierce with null damage wall. She also has recovery, so she can help me keep my HP up if she hits her teammates. But that is very low priority to get the recovery out. There's so many things to do, so many other things to do in this mission that usually we can't even think about the recovery as we are doing it. She also has a strike shot reducer, which is another reason for her to go after the teammates, but again, we don't really have that leeway to do that. And then she has a speed and power up strike shot, which is probably the best, one of the best strike shots for this mission. Next up I'm using King, and he is a Pierce with null damage wall. He also has flight and then null block. So he addresses pretty much all of the gimmicks for this mission. And yes, very happy to have him. He's easily my best character that I have here. He has the Sunflower Strike Shot, which can do a lot of damage if you use it right. And then he is a Blast type with the Rewind Blaster, which is fairly strong. But still, we need to focus on direct attacks. Next up I'm using the drop monster of Jiraiya, and he was recently upgraded to a Pierce. And then he also got a speed and power up plus counterattack strike shot. So he's almost ideal for Hourai, maybe the best max luck available for Hourai. And then finally my friend, I'm using Hansel and Gretel, and I believe they are rated the top monster for this quest. Pierce with null damage wall, and then they have a weak point slayer, which works on, of course, weak points. And they have a strike shot where they put up a healing wall, the first wall they hit, so they can also help us keep our HP up. Okay, so here is stage 4. We want to use the sling style change panels to turn into a bounce, and so pinch in between the Bahamut's and the wall. So if our angle is good, like where Jiraiya is now, if we go up and then hit the sling style change panel and then pinch above the Bahamut, that would be the way to get rid of it. And you do need to get it all in one turn, because it will heal itself. So it's kind of a more difficult version of the Leviathan that we saw in the first couple stages. Okay, and then ideally we would get rid of the Bahamuts and leave just Hourai. And then with Hourai alone we would concentrate damage on her and take her out. But also keep an eye on these anti-bounce guys to make sure that they don't one-hit KO us. Okay, so this stage is taking a lot longer than I would like. And then Hourai, she has her own ultimate attack, so we are definitely on a time limit. But let's use a King Strike Shot here. He has no block, so he can get in pretty easily into Hourai. We'll summon the Sunflower and get a bunch of hits in there. So that was a nice kind of a get-out-of-jail-free card. Just nothing else was going right in that stage, so that was fine to use that there. Okay, last stage before the boss sequence. We want to get rid of the Leviathans if we can. And then, you know, keep an eye on the anti-bounce guys, and then finally do damage to the boss. So with Hansel and Gretel here, let's take advantage of the weak point slayer and get rid of this guy. Excellent. Alright, and get one hit in on the boss, that was good. Alright, and then Charizard, her strike shot charges up pretty quickly. Doesn't necessarily mean that I want to use it all the time, because sometimes I want to take advantage of the sling style change panels, and if I use the strike shot I'll be immune to them. But there I felt that Hourai's HP was so low already that I could just ignore the anti-bounce guy Aqua Dragon pair and just go after the boss. Okay, and then comes the boss sequence. Okay, first stage of the boss sequence, and my timing and positioning is pretty great. Jiraiya has started on top of the block, so we'll just go up and down and then get a loop hit. And I explained this in a previous video, but a loop hit is when a Pierce character is trapped between two blocks, or a block and a wall, in such a way that they don't really lose speed as they hit the boss that is in there. Here we'll do that again with a Hansel and Gretel. Get rid of the Urashima Taro. And yeah, if you can manage those kind of shots, that will really speed up this mission. So yeah, we want to get rid of Urashima Taro first, and then go after the little guys, the pairs, and then do damage to the boss. And as we can see, there is a block above Hourai. We can use that block to get a loop hit in there as well. Okay, decent damage there from Jiraiya, and we were able to take down the anti-bounce guy. With Hansel and Gretel here, we'll try to take out that pair. But yeah, the blocks... The most difficult thing about this mission are the blocks. It's difficult because it's kind of not super easy to recognize where the blocks begin and end. And then the blocks are often covered by the enemies around them, so it's even more difficult to see where they are. If you can somehow manage to master the blocks, then you can master this mission. And if I had my way, I would play with 4 characters with no block. Unfortunately, I don't get that luxury yet. I haven't pulled the characters, but... Okay, so here, basically, I'm just killing time until it's Shahrazad's turn. She's in good position to do the loop hit, so we'll just spend a couple turns, maybe take down some guys in the meantime. Okay, that is fine. And then the more characters that we start at the top of the screen for the next stage, probably the easier it'll be. So those 3 guys up there are in decent position. Okay, so we got sort of a mini loop hit with Shahrazad. And then we start the last stage of the boss sequence. Okay, so here we see the Bahamutes again on the sides. This time they'll go left to right. So if we start with our characters at the top, it becomes easier to hit those sling style change panels and then pinch. So with King, we just went in there. With Jiraiya, we're going to become a bounce right away, so let's aim for a pinch shot on the right. And that's great. That's a big help to get rid of the 2 Bahamutes in the first 2 turns. And then next up, we want to get rid of the Urashima Taro. Shahrazad is in decent position, so I'm going to use Hansel and Gretel to get rid of the pair on the right. And then with the rest of my characters, I'll move them down and take out Urashima Taro. Here the loop hit is not super possible. Yeah, we slowed down pretty quickly there. Okay, but that wind is actually kind of helpful. That helped me move my king down. So he can get some hits in on the Urashima Taro and then take down the anti-bounce guy. And yeah, we don't need to focus too much on getting rid of the Aqua Dragons. But if we can take down the anti-bounce guys as we do damage to the other guys, that can be pretty good for us. Okay, with Jiraiya here, let's see if we can move our way down. We're going to hit the mines, but we'll pick up 1 heart at least, so that's okay. Alright, and then with Hansel and Gretel here, let's see if we can take down Urashima Taro. Excellent. Okay, so now we just need to do damage to the boss, while also taking down the anti-bounce guys every couple turns. So here let's use Shahrazad's strike shot. We'll get the speed and power up. We'll take down the anti-bounce guys at least. And then maybe do some good damage to the Aqua Dragons. Okay, decent. And we'll pick up the gold heart, so we're looking okay. Alright, with King here, I want to use his Sunflower Strike Shot again. I'm kind of wondering which angle would be good, though. If I could work my way all the way to the right and take down that pair as well, that might be nice. But yeah. The results here will not be as good as I was hoping, but that's decent damage on the boss. That's something. I wonder if it would have been better if I did like a diagonal into the upper right-hand corner, but whatever. Okay, with Jiraiya here, let's use his strike shot. He will get speed and power up. He'll also become immune to the sling-style panels, and then the goal is to try to get in between the blocks and get a loop hit on the boss. So we'll kind of overshoot it there. Let's try to do the same thing with Hansel and Gretel. We will hit the left wall, go right, attempt to hit the block, and then hit the other block and get stuck in there. Okay, excellent. So yeah, we also got a critical hit in there, so we did lots of damage to the boss. And really, you kind of have to master that shot if you want to clear this mission. Alright, so we did the same thing with Shahrazad there, and we were able to take down the boss. So that was my first clear in either the JP version or the English version, so that's very, very cool. And then looking at my week overall, it was a pretty good week. First clear of Kanan, I got my first drop of Nirai Kanai, I finished the Kushinada Max Luck, I finished the Dengeki Max Lux, and then I got Hourai, so yeah, this is one for the record books. And then Hourai is super, super good. She's probably the best drop monster in the game, and very, very high on, even compared to Hatcher monsters. She's got Flight, Null Damage Wall, Null Block, so that triple Null is already crazy. She has a Grand Command Strike Shot, which is crazy, and a decent bump combo as well. And then, yeah, she's so good, I'm probably going to ascend both of the drops that I just got, so. Okay, pretty excited about that, and thanks for watching. We'll see you again. Take care.